Humanities, Fragilities. Brennan Manning was a ragamuffin and a real Christian man, an alcoholic, prolific writer throughout his life and career, up to his living end, but presumptively saved by grace and love, by no means of his own, nor by the words he wrote. I hope God gives me some of that, grace that is. Throughout my adolescence, I shook out my Baptist upbringing and shook off my innocence by ingesting numerous poisons to kill my body, mind, and soul daily. Marijuana and its many derivatives, uppers and downers, psychedelics. If it was good enough for the Beatles and a doctor named Timothy Leary, turn on, tune in, drop out. It was well enough for me. I didn't realize my naive mindset was the beginning of my sunset. I did not think I would live long enough to live as long as I've lived up to now. Some of my friends lived short lives, dying in the 1970s. Russell Sims died in a drunken car crash on his way to Las Vegas. Bill Grapp committed suicide with a .22 caliber rifle after he left the party at my house in the early morning hours, assisted by the heavy flow of drugs and alcoholic beverages. Craig Ferris succumbed to a heroin overdose. The damage caused by drugs and alcohol were starting to reveal the hidden tolls from those of us young enough to believe ourselves indestructible. For some unknown reason, I experienced God's graces, but I didn't think of it like that way back when. Just lucky, I guess. I grew up and old, with toxic tales too many, not only from my youth, but throughout my marriages, law enforcement career, and to present day as the senior citizen I am. I began to turn to my church roots during Marriage and Family 1, then at the demise of Marriage 2 with much more fervor. I was angry, had a temper, full of undeserved pride, tried to seek God, prayed, read the Bible, doing what I didn't want to do, though I knew I shouldn't. Couldn't control myself. LSD. That's what I've been doing all these years, long, slow death. I never really wanted to live all that long. I thought it would all be over by now. At times, I get tired of life. Sometimes I want to die, yet I am afraid to die. I could never commit suicide. I'm too chicken. I could never commit homicide. I fear God and hell. The storm inside my mind is waning. I no longer think as quick and concise. My memory is in short distance flight. I want to be nice. I don't want to fight. I want people to be nice. I want the world to be nice. At times, I want to put my head in a vice and squeeze out the poisonous juice that always seems to be there, influencing my brain. I better think twice before I pay the price by shaving off my very last slice of life. Brennan Manning did just that. A heavy drinker throughout his life, a gifted writer, a Christian man who influenced many with the strokes of his pen. Hurting family, hurting friends, hurting himself with secrets he kept. He was used by the Holy Spirit for the good of mankind, in spite of his many sins, just like many and all of us chosen. The wine that I drank caught up with me. Effects it has caused, I feel suddenly. The new wine I drink is my victory. With Jesus my Christ, I am heavenly. Wherever and whenever we go seems to come suddenly, regardless the pace towards eternity. Eventually we face with intensity the true meaning of our mortality and wish we hadn't ignored morality as nothing but lessons of absurdity, rather than focused on integrity and the God who saves our souls.